whole topic, the period topic, makes them so uncomfortable.
That is true.
So
Something off. So I get off the bed, I'm like, oh, that's what that is.
When you say that statement that like when someone is either sensitive towards a topic or they're a bit emotional, then someone says it's PMSing.
Hi, my name is Michelle, and this is my shop, Here. We are located at AMG Center next to Roosters Hotel on Thika Road, exit 7. Welcome. I sell helmets and jackets and gloves and all the riding accessories and apparel. Feel free to also follow my page, Here, on Instagram, where you can see all the products that I have in the shop. Thank you.
Some of the challenges that I've faced while riding during a long distance while on my period has been, one, getting my period on the way to the destination. That happened once. It was not fun. We had to look for the closest toilets, and that time we're in the middle of nowhere.
let me just interject. Let me ask, were you with other ladies on that ride, or you were with only gentlemen? Because other ladies will empathize and they'll understand exactly what that is, but the gentlemen will be so confused, and the whole topic, the period topic, makes them so uncomfortable.
That is true.
So how did you handle that? Who helped you? Did you have sisters on the ride?
Unfortunately no. Unfortunately no, but okay, the person I was with is a gentleman, so we rode together. And in the middle of the riding, first of all I was like, something off, so I indicated for him, we're like, okay, let's just go to the side of the road. Something off. So I get off the bike, I'm like, oh, that's what that is. And he looked at me, blank stare on his face. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I had to think fast. So we had to look for the closest toilets, which was Voi Total, I think. Yeah, Voi Total. So they have a toilet, a good enough toilet that it's clean. Yeah. So that's where we went, and I had to do my things there, and it was quite an experience. Luckily, the toilet was clean, and I was able to dispose of the girl products safely. And okay, I actually prefer that. When you go to a petrol station, some of them don't even have like proper places for you to dispose of these things. And like, it's a petrol station, you need to have them at all times, because anyone can pass by, anything is happening. So you need to have those things always available and always there. For the ladies especially.
And let me ask, did it, like, getting your period in the middle of the ride, now, because some people are so affected by the emotions that come on with a period that they isolate. So if you're one of the isolating types and you find yourself on the road and you have to continue, or you're the one who completely loses motivation or loses ability to even focus, I can imagine how challenging that may be. Yeah. It can be such a struggle.
It is.
But also, I think when we're doing that, as I mentioned earlier, riding with our biker brothers, they ought to understand. I believe tumesonga sana. We are so advanced, and a period is still one of those things that people look at as if it's taboo to discuss, or people still shy away from, or if you mention it, someone feels off. So support from not just sisters, from biker brothers as well, is very good. Because sometimes, especially in a lot of settings, when you are off or someone has irritated you, that reaction of ananyesha, I really despise that reaction. And that's unfortunately the mentality that is held by so many, I'm not even just saying brothers, even unfortunately some fellow sisters will say the same thing. So it's something that has come to be normalized, and it's not really accurate considering the changes that are happening in your body at that specific time.
Exactly.
It should be allowable. I mean, you're in pain, you're unsettled, there's so many highs and lows, hormones playing around. So it should be really something that you're supported through.
So they should be actually more empathetic.
True.
Than judging someone, because it's a lot. You go through a lot, man.
When you say that statement that like when someone is either sensitive towards a topic or they're a bit emotional, then someone says it's PMSing. I just feel like that is such an ignorant statement to make. And I do agree that we get, you get females and males saying the same thing, and I try as much as possible to stop someone at that point, and I'm like, you don't even know. If it's a dude, I'll just tell them you don't even know the half of it, so you do not even relate what that person. Those are two totally different scenarios and situations. You can't put those two together.
No,
It's
you
totally
can't.
different, and
That's
it's not acceptable.
It isn't, and it's honestly something that we need to adopt. Like I think as a female biker, there's so many biases out there against us that this should not be one of the things that we are constantly fighting.
Yeah.
We ought to not be fighting that, not in this day and age.
True.
I don't think so.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it happens, but then come to think of it, like I don't know about you guys, but when I was in my primary school, when we were taught about reproductive health system, we were in a class with our fellow male
Boys.
students. We were in the same class, but when it came to the topic of menstruation, we had to be separated. I think that's where we need to like re-strategize and rethink that education or that awareness from there.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Because you see, we get separated and then you're all put in one class as girls, and then you're told, oh, this is, so that already creates that thought that this is something private and you can't talk about it. When it's happening, it's very, it brings, you need to hide it. Nobody needs to know. That's your business.
That key aura of mystery
that-
where we used to
yeah.
be given, you'd be
Yeah,
given
then
pads
given
and then you're
pads
told
and you have
hide,
to hide
feature,
it,
no one
hide
should
it,
see, hide it,
You see?
make sure the boys don't see, and the boys are peeking through the windows
Yeah,
or
to
somewhere,
understand, yeah.
trying to really understand
What's
why can't
going
they
on.
also be taken through that so that they
Yeah.
understand. So I think in our individual capacities with the boys in our lives, like the next generation, let's make sure we educate them and let them know that this is not something shameful, this is
Yeah.
not something to be
Exactly.
embarrassed about, this is not something to
Exactly.
make fun of. This is a completely normal, natural, biological process that females go through. I usually say, this is a statement I say, and my mother usually laughs, or the ladies in my life. I usually say, if you think I am this grown and I don't have a period, you are stupid.
True.
That's what I say, because it's perpetuated. It's not just in school, it's literally perpetuated everywhere. Like you go to the supermarket to buy sanitary products, and the person who is packing will basically wrap in like a gazette or something so that it is not seen. I'm like, no, I'm just buying this and it's in the aisle. It's something
it's
that we
literally-
use.
yeah, it's literally in the
so
aisle,
it's
so-
very normal. I'm not embarrassed. Why are you embarrassed on my behalf? Why are you hiding it on my
Yeah.
behalf? Or some ladies actually have really internalized that whole thing, that even when they're buying, they will hide. They'll buy and then they put them here. Or if they're with their kids, they will shop for the house, but they won't buy their sanitary products. Because they don't want their kids to see that. And it's not something to be embarrassed about. I think if there's a message that I would want to pass on to the next generation, to the young ladies who are here, even the older ones, who are still embarrassed about their period, a period is normal. We can talk about it. You are a grown woman. If you're having a period, you have kids, or you're just walking out here, everyone knows that biological process is somehow happening in your body.
Yep.
So as a young woman, do not be embarrassed. As a young girl in school, do not be embarrassed about having a period. As young men coming up, do not make fun of girls for this. It's a normal process. Just the way your bodies are going through changes, the same way girls' bodies are going through changes, and it is very much okay. Do not make fun of it. Think so, ladies?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, what now? Me, I have not used. I think the sanitary products that I use to date are tampons. From when I was 14 years old, I think the only time that I used pads was, I think, post-delivery for a very short period. But I've not used those for some time. I find tampons very convenient. They're so small, you can pack them up in the smallest places. And then there's the different absorbency levels. So they work for me. But at the same time, they require you to have a lot of water to be clean, everything to handle them. I don't know what works for you. Do you use maybe pads, cups, the various options that are in the market? What works for you, especially when you're on a ride? What do you prefer to use?
I think I've experienced like all three products that are right now in the market. I've used a cup, I've used tampons, and I've used pads. Now, my flow is very light to the point that at night it takes a break. So at night, I literally use panty liners because I'm spotting, and then we continue the following day. So so for me right now pads have become like something that I use pads all the time. So I tried tampons, but at some point I didn't really feel comfortable using it. Cups, I know they're environmentally friendly and everything, but the stress of removing that thing, we are just saying, you know what, let's just stick to pads. So pads work for me right now.
Whoever cups work for.
Whoever cups work for.
But they power to you. Power to you. But when I think about, they're environmental friendly, and they're a really good idea. They're a great idea, by the way. But mimi hapa kidogo small imenishinda. Maggie?
Well, for me, I usually mostly use either tampons and pads. So at the very beginning, I started with pads, of course, and then after that, I ventured into something else. I'm like, what else can I use apart from pads? Because I don't like the wet feeling. I don't know. It's very annoying. And then also the burning effects, the friction, the chafing, and then like when you're in the toilet and then you're over there changing your pads, you're like, oh God, let me tell you the whole world I'm raining, But so I had to see what else I can use apart from pads. So I ended up using tampons, which actually I preferred more, and also because at that point, I have access to water, cleanliness and all that. But as of now, because of my flow has become heavier, I actually end up using both tampons. Double duty because of the super size. I usually use the super size and the pads, especially the first few days. So I use those, and then now the last few days now is when I can just use maybe the pads because the flow may reduce. Yeah, so basically that's what I use. I've not yet tried to use a cup yet. I'm hoping maybe soon, but so far I think I'm also still looking for other options, by the way, apart from a cup or a tampon or a pad. I wish, if that was possible, man.
I don't know, there's somewhere I heard that kitambo, when like your time of our ancestors, that when you're on your period, you used to be taken somewhere. There's a place where you guys would go and chill. So I think you just chimba shimo and you sit, and for the duration of your period. So it just goes back, because honestly, think wangetumia nini?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering actually. I was like, back in the day, what were they using? Cotton wool came, kitambo, cotton wool came later on. But then before that,
I've had that story. They used to go, they chimba. There's a place. There's it's like, let's call it a period resort, where you guys go and sit down, you chimba a hole, and then now when your flow issues, you can now go back, because unfortunately, even back then, it was categorized as unclean. Like those days, you're unclean. So I think that's what they used to do. But at the same time, I believe that whole notion, as I say, that whole notion that a period is dirty, a period is what, I really don't agree with it. It doesn't work for me.
True.
But the beauty of it, I find with tampons also, is that, okay, this is not environmentally friendly, but then there are those that are work. So, and it's basically an applicator. When you have an applicator, it makes your work so much easier. The tampons that come with applicators are those that are biodegradable, but then others are not. I'm sorry, Mother Earth, but sometimes I'm a bit selfish sometimes, but it really works, especially in those areas where perhaps you cannot access water, because it's disposable. So you just throw it. You can just throw it there. I think one of the things that we can do with this episode is also to just try and send out some requests or some recommendations to those who make the sanitary products that we use, to the places that we encounter when we are riding or wherever we go. Not even just riding, I think even just generally traveling as a woman, there's things that need to be considered, because hey, we are in 2022 and there are restrooms, petrol stations, wherever, that there are no sanitary disposal bins. Like seriously, that needs to change, because 3/4 of the people traveling at one time or the other, or let's even say half, are women, and some of them are actually going through this. Some people, props, like they have made it happen. Some stopovers, because I think along the highways there are some stopovers that are very popular, so they've made that. But even the less popular ones, let's be inclusive. Let's make sure that women are catered to in this entire journey. What else would you recommend, ladies? Perhaps to the product makers, what would you tell them?
I think for me, the product makers, I prefer if you're gonna provide tampons, please provide them with an applicator. Just to do that, just for the sake of everyone. It's easier to use, yes, and maybe make it biodegradable as well, so that you're not really hurting the environment. But I feel like it's very important to have, at least if you're gonna use tampons, use them with an applicator. Like in abroad, those are the things that are like it's standard there. Why can't we make it standard here as well? And also to have as many products for the tampons as possible. You know, like there's the small size, then now there's the companies that just only bring small size, and there are other companies that bring all the sizes. Then it's okay, let's just say be more consistent with providing those products to us ladies, especially those ones who use tampons.
Yeah, the variety.
The variety, yeah. Because it gets to a point for, if I can't find this particular product, especially on my side, in the size that I usually use, I have to think about what other option I can use in the meantime. Because, I can't just pause my period of like, you know what, I can't find them, so let me just pause you until I find my preferred, I just have to figure it out. And it's a lot. And also pricing as well. They're very expensive. Especially the size, especially tampons that come with the bigger size. Why are they so expensive?
By the way, that's the thing. When I think women have to have options. You should be allowed options, because I think one of the key things that, I don't know if it will be a policy in government or whatever, but ladies' products need to be affordable. Even consideration of some sort of zero rating, no VAT on the ladies' products, because it's not something that we choose that, okay, I will have my period, okay, I won't have my period. It's not something we choose, and it is honestly something that we really, really need.
It's a requirement.
Yeah, it's a requirement. And this is the thing that is pushing. The unfortunate thing is that all around the country, there's period, it's called, I don't know what, there's a word that is used, it's called period poverty or something, where there's girls who are getting into basically people ask them for sexual favors, small girls who've just had their period, and they get into that just so they can buy themselves sanitary products, and that is extremely sad. We need to be in a space where these products are so affordable that it doesn't come to that. Because there's different NGOs and different people donating and doing all that. But I don't know if that is workable, if all those products reach everyone that needs them. So it needs to be an environment where a girl can actually just access these products without much hassle, without much cost. And tampons are expensive. Why are tampons so much more expensive? Like, you'll notice tampons are, I don't know how much more expensive. Almost double or actually triple the price of pads. Yeah. I know cups are like a one-time
thing.
Yeah, they're a one-time purchase. But these other ones, I think something needs to change. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I do think so. Because the other challenge, just to tie in onto what Maggie was saying in terms of sizes, I don't know, because for me, because my flow is light, so every time I go to the supermarket, I don't find pads for normal flows, for light flows. So you're always seeing the maxis. I'm not bashing people who need the maxis at night and everything, because I don't use those. But how about these other people who have light flows then? How about ladies who are, size inclusive, in terms of even the pads, leave alone the tampon, size inclusive, like the size of the length of your pad, the width and all that stuff. Manufacturers or people who produce these products thinking about that. I don't need that pad to stick on my panty the whole day, because that glue then gets stuck on the pant. I don't know. You guys don't use pads that often, but yeah, that happens. So I'm just like, can we look for something that's not that, it's not super glue. Yeah. I don't need it to stick there for that long. Yeah. Anyway.
There's a video we saw where someone was putting a pad and then another one on the back at the back of her panty, because just that one pad in the middle is not enough. So there's so many considerations to be made, and there's so much that needs to change. And I think it needs to be done in consultation with us as women, who
yeah.
use those products.
I agree.
It certainly needs to happen
Yeah.
in that kind of way. But I think today we've done a good job. I think we've covered quite a bit, and our shared experiences. I think there's someone out there who can relate to this. There is a biker out there, or a non-biker. There's a young lady who can relate to what we've experienced. You guys can share maybe your experiences in the comments below. Don't feel shy. Put your name up broadly and say, hey, this is what happened with me. Perhaps our conversations will get the people who manufacture, will get these guys who have the stopovers when we're doing journeys, and everyone concerned, any person who basically affects the products that we use and where we go and everything, will be able to be informed, and perhaps it will change something to the betterment of the females of this world. So thank you so much. Thank you for watching this episode. And again, if you did not at the beginning, tafadhali, please. How do you say please in French? I don't know. Yo, that word. Please subscribe. And thank you so much. See y'all in the next episode. Bye bye.